Already live.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah.
Seems like our mic is working too. But I guess we'll know in 30 seconds.
Yo, what's up, guys? Reens, my boy. What's going on?
Oh, we can get rid of the chat replay. Because the chat replay there is live, isn't it?
Mm.
Like on YouTube?
Or, well, that's his top chat, but you change it to live chat.
Oh, I see. All messages
Yeah.
are visible. Yeah, I guess it's good to have some redundancy.
Message retracted. Profound.
That's nice. Yeah. How does the mic quality sound?
Justice for Malik. Dude, Malik has been freed. Malik is...
Isn't Malik on another account now? Didn't we lose Malik?
Malik is on like 2 different accounts. Wait, you might want to pause like the live replay.
How come?
Well, just so that you're not using too much like bandwidth or something.
Oh, like pause the rendering up here?
Yeah.
And close the tab?
Like, no. Just pause the like YouTube thing.
Oh.
And then just have the chat.
That's really smart, yeah. Typical software engineer problem solving. Yeah, I don't even know why we need that tab. I guess it's just redundancy, but yeah. All right. Yeah. Hi. From Vermont to the Indian person. So
How's everybody's morning? Good? Good.
So what are we working on today? We're doing some fast Fourier transform.
We sure are.
If we can get that working. But I don't know, we are kind of fools.
A little bit.
God, I gotta sneeze so bad.
I think that
I have to resist.
there's this website that I found that looks like it's gonna be really useful. There's actually
Fourier.
2. Yeah. Well, this is like the tutorial one, just to kind of like show you what really is a fast Fourier transform,
Yeah.
or like what is a Fourier transform.
What's the website called?
This is called carlsims.com.
With a K?
Yeah. Sims.com. And then do like /FF. Yeah.
Fast Fourier.
Yeah.
Okay. You understand this better than me. Do you want to like try to explain this?
Yeah. Alright. So, wait, can you zero it all?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so basically, the idea with a fast Fourier transform, or, well, a Fourier transform, is to isolate the components that create a wave. So, here, for example, we have a completely flat wave, like, you know, it's completely flat, so all the components of it are flat. But then here, like let's say you have this wave, and basically, guys, what you're
Basically, guys.
pretty good explanation here. Basically, what you're doing is
Jake, I'm so confused.
really. Oh
No, it's barely started.
yeah. Okay, so the information that you actually have access to is this top wave. So you're seeing this top wave, and just kind of imagine that is the wave that you have access to. And currently, we can see that this wave here can be constructed with just this one wave here. Mm-hmm. But then if you were to add some variation, then it kind of gets a little bit complicated. And then basically the goal of a Fourier transform is you're given this top one, this black one. That's your input signal.
Yeah.
And then you're extracting all of the trigonometric functions that create that. So you'll be extracting this sine and then that cosine and so on.
Right. And the reason for extracting these individual components is we can then tell, like, these are all different frequencies, right, in sound. And then we can say, like, the value of F6 is such and such, and that'll correspond to maybe bass or, like, treble ranges. And then we can take a reading out of that and turn it into, like, a visual.
Yeah. Wait, go to nt-audio.com. Wait, here. Let me actually just like put this in chat and then you.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Guys, feel free to read along. Feel free to go check that out. And someone was asking, why are we yapping about it? So basically, we're working on this project where we have a sound component in a 3D fractal visualizer.
Pull up the. Actually, I'd probably just.
It's
probably
a.
build it. Oh, no, not a build.
Oh yeah, you could demonstrate it. So, but the audio input's not.
Yeah, currently our audio input's not working. It's probably because it's configured through what's playing, but we could configure it to like a microphone, right? It's just in. Where did we set the audio up? Was it in the main file?
It just takes your default audio device right now, and I don't know how to set it up otherwise. Yeah, get default input audio device.
But we're kind of using an output, aren't we? Like we're using an output to render because we were trying to like get music, but we could configure it to our mic probably. Because down here, where is this? When we set this up, oh my god, it got so complicated. I forgot about the static callback issue. But output buffer, input buffer, input.
Yeah, I still
get default input device. That's the. Do we
the device ID. Then what C++ version are we on? Probably whatever the latest is.
I think we're on 17 or something weird.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Damn, it's been a while since I've touched this. I have no idea where we're. Okay, so basically, like, the ring marcher would respond to audio visualization, would respond to our audio levels, but we don't have it configured to respond to the mic right now. I kind of forgot how to do that. It would, like, bounce up and down if we were playing music, but I don't want to, like, mess with the stream audio, so we'll deal with that when we get to it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're only taking the input and then calculating the decibels, but what we're working on is extracting the frequency information. And then, wait, did you pull up that link that I sent?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah. And so basically, this is a cool visual. Wait, scroll down so they can see it.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is basically like how sound works. And look, we're no experts. That's why this stream we're actually researching this. I don't know really all too much about Fourier transforms. I don't really know.
Yeah. Hopefully, there's some
everything about it, but yeah. I mean, as you can see, there's kind of like this. Like z-axis in a way of the different frequencies, and then the amplitude of each of those components, like each of those wave components corresponds to
different
frequencies. Yeah.
Oh, we can convert light to sound and reverse. That's amazing. I guess like light is also waves of different frequencies. That's really cool. And someone says, if you think about it in audio terms...
He's the main thread, by the way.
Where?
This guy down here, you say.
Oh, you should extract it in the main thread. Okay, well, one thing we wanted to do, actually, is review some PRs. So we'll do that in a sec, because someone sent us some PRs for this, and we're C++ noobs, so this will be a great learning experience for probably everyone. Especially us, though. Oh, can we move that over?
The webcam is input too. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. I'm sure that something could be done with that.
Yeah.
That's not really super the plan right now. I mean, basically what we have is this large CRT TV in our living room, and sometimes we have people over for like parties and whatever, and the idea is that we'd be playing some music, and then there'd be like a cool fractal visualizer on the TV while everybody's like hanging out. And then we also have this audio mixer with all these like dials on it. The voice is too low.
Can turn up our gain.
Wait. that looks like it's whatever.
Peaking.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, it seems fine. You can also turn up your headphones. I mean, unless you have them at max.
People they're currently doing something similar. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So maybe you could help us because we're like kind of just going into this a little bit blind. But yeah. So then we have this mixer with all these dials for like mid, treble, gain, bass, whatever. Are any of you held hostage? Okay, I gotta stop reading chat while I'm trying to say something. But yeah, then eventually we'd like to like kind of isolate those certain components to be like direct visual inputs. So you'll crank one dial and then it will make it wider or taller or change the fractal in some way or some
probably mostly be with music, but we can also take mic input. I was thinking if we put a mic like in the middle of a living room, that way it'll like respond to people talking, which would be kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's look at these PRs because someone sent them about a week ago, which is really nice. And oops.
I'm gonna go throw some water on the kettle.
Okay, cool. All right. I don't know. I guess I'll just go in order opened, just because that way they probably won't merge, conflict in any way. But if there's 3 separate PRs, I guess it probably doesn't matter. Improved Wayland compatibility. Added CMake option for Wayland Andes. I guess this guy is named... Oh, he's not named Andy. That's some kind of version of Wayland. Since I'm a NixOS user, by the way. Okay, so there's some Nix stuff in here. Let's see what the actual files look like for this. Just one commit, one file changed. Let's just add some stuff to CMake. Okay, I'll just, I guess I'll just merge. What's your preferred workflow here? Do you merge just into, I usually merge into main and then I just like drop the commit if it didn't work, but maybe that's dumb. Maybe you should like check out on a feature branch. But yeah. How dare you use your mouse? What about your mouseless browser setup? This isn't a mouse. I was just putting my hand over there on a rest. Rebase. I never understood get rebase. Like I kind of get rebase, but
yeah, rebase from my understanding is you're putting your commit at the head of the tree or something like that. You're like rebase, like, yeah, I don't really know. Support from Iran, yo, what's up? That's very cool.
Allows you to move or combine a series of commits to a new commit. Don't give us a summary. Effectively rewriting the project history. It helps maintain a linear project history by applying changes from one branch onto another without creating a merge commit. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, wait, this guy's the author of the whatchamacallit?
Oh, sick.
No way.
What's up, US4 tiny NY4N? Nice name.
What should we call you, US? Something maybe hopefully a little bit easier to say.
Rebasing places the commits one after another without a merge commit. Okay.
This guy's complaining about the AI summary.
So
valid complaint.
I guess, how do you rebase? Do you just from the command line point it at the commit hash? Or is it like, do you point it at... Oh, okay. So it basically, it's like a merge, but it doesn't squash commits and it doesn't leave a merge commit message. So you just pull the ones you want. Yeah, every search engine does suck, but I don't know. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're just looking up something basic, or like Jake's on like a good article. Like if you're on someone's personal website, it's solid for finding those.
Which is like the opposite of what you said in the video.
I didn't really believe anything in the video.
Damn.
Okay.
Fraudulent.
Where's the merge button? I'm having trouble finding it. Oh, this is just for review. I guess I'll just submit a review to drive up my... Ah, damn. I didn't want to leave a comment. You can drive up your git commit graph by leaving reviews of everything. Okay, merge. Oh, squash and merge, rebase and merge. I'll rebase that bad boy. Okay.
Well, did you look at it? Is this what we want to be?
It's just like a CMake thing that adds Linux support. It's just helpful for people contributing or something.
Okay.
Let's see if they... okay. Overwritten by merge. What did we do in CMake?
You should periodically do a tier list of recurring commenters to farm engagement. That's actually not even a bad idea. Reens would be up there.
That's a really good idea, actually.
Itroma would be up there.
Yeah. Crewmate, you're at the bottom.
Yeah, crewmate F tier.
You guys heard about penny trading? Is that just like trading different pennies that are different values? Or is it like penny
Commit
stocks?
graphs are the most useless thing ever anyways.
Facts.
I don't know. I don't know if I really agree with that.
Good PR. Did not give us malware or break anything. I'd probably commit that stuff, but just in case there's a conflict. All right.
That commits just like the craziest backdoor ever. He just has full access.
Oh, I did not really read it. It's in our CMake list, so I think.
You don't even know how CMake works. We don't know. What even is Wayland? Did you look it up?
It's like a Linux window environment or something. I'm not super strong in the Linux terminology, but it require components EGL. That seems fine. I don't know. If you backdoor malwared us, you deserve it, honestly. Okay.
Oof. All of a sudden the stream just goes black and it's just this guy like, yo, what's up guys? Yo, this is my channel now.
This is USNT4W. Yeah, what should we call you, US guy? Well, at least I learned how to rebase. That's cool.
My tea is ready.
He wants us to call him No, I Didn't. It's kind of hard to work with an inconsistent code base, but I promise to not make stylistic remarks for now. I wanted to start with something small, very much on the nose. Here are 2 guidelines. Don't pollute headers with symbols. Yeah, it kind of sucks that using namespaces at the top of a header file should not be present, but it saves you from linker compile errors, especially long, unreadable ones. Also include what you use. Easier to grasp what's actually happening given the class function. And if you really want to use using keyword, you should put it very close to the point of usage, like I did with cout and endl. I didn't didn't expect uninitialized variables to be 0. Didn't really affect the code base yet, but as a future rule of thumb, try to initialize PODS, plain old data structures, with something, or 0 initialize, as it just saves your ass down the line. That is a good point, yeah. And this is a great point. Did you hear this? Like, not including, like, in header files, I think in, like, engine.
Cow mug. Utter mug. Utter mug.
That's so
Utter mug. Utter mug. Utter mug.
Can we get a... get a close-up to that utter mug.
Utter mug. Utter mug. Utter mug. Yeah. Ow, it's hot.
How much does it cost for you to display a message on stream? Like nothing, you just displayed that one for free. Does Jake have a channel too? Jake does have a channel. He also has a very weird artistic Instagram account.
Yeah. Artistic.
Drop a link to that bad boy in chat. Okay, we'll look at discrete Fourier. Missed the opportunity that you can't drink through the udders. You don't know that. But yeah, that's a great piece of advice. You can see, like, we're using, like, okay, this we're using specifics. I guess that's a bad example, but, like, what, maybe in the mouse header? Not really. I don't know. I guess using namespace. I guess we just like. Oh, these are all in our image GUI. Okay, so that's a bad example. I gotta ignore that.
People are asking about the map, or well, someone asked about the map. That's the Sinai Peninsula over in Egypt. Yeah.
It's for tactical reasons.
The Nile to the left. I mean, as is canon for the Sinai Peninsula.
That's a good point. Check the PR. Check the PR. Okay. Thank you for the PR, by the way. Do not pollute, I beg you. So in lots of files, engine shaders, and the uniform. Basically, like, get rid of all these usings for more specific usings, and then just prefix with. This is a great point because it's like convenience for us in the moment to prefix like a whole thing with using rather than like do the colon syntax all the time. But I guess it's like just a lot easier to debug and a lot more performant. So that's great to know. I feel like a lot of people, including myself, like when you're a beginner, you have a lot more tendency to like want to do the clean syntax, and then as you get more advanced, you have more of a tendency to like do the clean actual functionality. You know, it's like the difference between inlining an if statement and not doing that bad boy. Okay, and then don't expect uninitialized to be 0. Okay, that's so you just don't.
Yeah, Reens, I don't really know. I'm trying to remove anything political.
Are people saying political stuff?
Yeah, I removed some stuff.
Politics.
No Name is asking about what is the fast Fourier transform. We kind of already went over that, but now there's quite a few more new viewers, so we could maybe do like another just super quick rundown.
Yeah.
Basically, Fourier transform is the way of extracting each of these. You see these lower sine and cosine wave functions. It's basically like how you're able to extract these different functions out of this main top one. So the input that you have is up in the top. It's the black, and then basically what a Fourier transform does is it takes out all of these different functions that are added together to make that black graph. And then what you can do with that is extract important information like frequency information, because we're doing an audio visualizer and we're going to need that. So
yeah, mostly true. Drop some links. We'll save them.
Yeah, we should watch that, because
we
don't really know much at all.
Actually, if you have if you want to go to our Git repository, which is just I think my name /Ray Marching. Well, we can check. Yeah, I can drop it in chat. Basically, if you want to just like PR a file with recommendations, and then just drop like links to whatever videos and other resources on fast Fourier transform, that would be great. Or I don't know. Yeah. Why is there a map of
Fourier transform is time over amplitude to frequency over amplitude and back. Yeah.
That's really cool. So yeah, back to reviewing this PR, we're improving our like Ray Marcher because we're gonna throw fast Fourier transform in it eventually. Looks like this at the moment, but it should be responding to sound and different frequencies of sound. So let's pull that in, and then okay, this is a good commit message as well.
You can
see this last PR
for polynomial multiplication. Interesting.
Oh, dude, this is awesome. Check this out. Our guy US added a IMGUI like waveform debugger.
Oh, really cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's sick.
That's so sick. Okay, let's read over this so we can see what happened. Okay, audio buffer to main thread, debug view for audio. Choose lock-free stack since it wouldn't incur blocking operations between audio and graphics threads. That's good. Solid. And a basic allocator should easily handle its own ring buffer of memory in the audio thread. Mim, alloc, or similar should handle it easily. What's a ring buffer? Can someone explain that? Do you know FT is analogous to SVD? I don't know what SVD is. I'm kind of a physics noob.
Yo, check out this nice-ass ice cube. Something really nice about that. Oh my god, dude, that's such high quality. Holy shit. Oh my god, dude. That camera's insane. Anyway, sorry. You were probably saying something.
I kind of was. I was asking if anyone knows what a ring buffer is.
I should get this shit up on my screen.
Because I do not know. Another completely valid solution would be to use one vector and lock a mutex around it. But it's not good as foolproof deadlocks and might cause hiccups in graphics thread. Bestest solution would be to have would have been to use lock-free SPSCQ like that. Damn, this guy is cracked at low-level stuff. That is insane. I'll have to read over this more carefully later, but I do not, like, I vaguely understand some of those terms, like locking and mutex is kind of, but not that well. Please add Clang format YAML. These tabs space diffs, I can't. Yeah, fair enough. I have a global Clang diff, but I think Jake and I use different formatters. I don't know if yours respects the Clang.
Probably doesn't. Well, it probably does.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
As mentioned above, I used to work with Audio 2 and used Mini Audio Library. Very convenient library, no icky exceptions, blech. Cool. Yes, I can look at this PR. Let's see what commits you dropped. Okay, so this just brings our audio onto main thread, okay? And then this just adds, I guess we'll merge these in. Where's the merge button? It's back somewhere. Rebase. Confirm, rebase, and merge. Okay.
Oh, that's hot.
Pull that down. All right, let's rerun CMake probably, just in case any files or whatever changed. Oh, I don't think I passed the correct path. Okay. All right. Audio debug view. Okay, that seems to be working. We're not running any audio through it right now.
Check the comments in the code, please.
Okay, will do. Ring buffer seems to be a fixed length buffer that loops back on itself. Oh, that's interesting. Circular buffers are like arrays that seem circular. Data is written and read in a first in, first out style, but once allocated, subsequent writes do not cause memory allocations. So it like wraps around in memory.
That's pretty neat.
Do you think white flight
Sounds super
applies to
applicable.
operating systems, and that because there are so many Indian Linux users, white people will migrate to open? What the fuck? I don't know, man. I think that's a pretty crazy theory. Is that my Turkish friend Jake in the background?
No Turks here. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, we don't. No, we're not about that. Or Jake isn't. Okay, let's quit out of that and see what.
Greek friend seems cracked at low-level stuff. No. No, that's not me. That's actually one of the chatters that was being all cracked at low-level stuff. I am honestly pretty mid. Yeah.
Well, it's all relative. Let's see, what? I guess let's check sound for the comments. Mono for microphone. No, this wasn't existing. The following is a stack extraction operation for external use. Leaves current stack head as null pointer, ready to be filled with data again. Wow. Did you pull this on?
No, I haven't done any of that.
This is some cracked low-level stuff. Wait, is the udder glass from the video full of... It's a different udder glass. We have multiple udder glasses. Okay. Let's see. So first allocation is for a node.
So I'm actually not from Greece. My family's from Greece. And in Greece, my family's from Avgerinos. On my mom's side, it's Avgerinos and Chalkida. Yeah. Η οικογένεια μου είναι από την Ελλάδα. Still drinking ouzo from the cup. Teabag is just a distraction. Yeah, you got me. You got me.
Not touching what's below the following process could be a product. Okay, this is all great low-level stuff, but I feel like I need to like sit down and look at it off stream because I need like some time to deeply process it. So I guess let's do some fast Fourier transform research, and we can see maybe someone dropped a pull request. An all resource regarding signal processing. Oh sweet. Anyway, do you understand, Jake, like how the math of fast Fourier transform works? Like,
nope.
How do you...
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I just know that there's some really complicated integral in, like, the discrete Fourier transform. You have to do some, like, crazy integral, I think, but then the fast Fourier transform is some kind of approximation with like a Riemann sum or whatever it's called. I don't really know.
Riemann?
Yeah.
With a Y? Okay. Sorry, I was distracted reading chat. No, Linkarzu, I do not... Well, I don't speak any other languages. I took Greek and Latin, but yeah, I don't speak. Did you just insult me in Greek?
Basically just integration. I would highly recommend reading about convolutions as well. Fast Fourier transform is not Fourier transform is also something you should understand.
Fourier transform is different than I guess is fast Fourier transform just an optimization on top?
Well, fast Fourier transform is, I think, just kind of like the efficient way that you're able to implement it into programming.
Oh, gotcha.
Fast Fourier is applying divide and merge on discrete Fourier transform.
It's pronounced
Riemann. Yeah, my bad. Hey, look, guys, I'm not a math major.
Riemann.
Look, sure, I did take through calculus 3, but I whatever.
Okay, so where should we start exactly? I guess we should get familiar with Fourier series and like all the terminology there. Like I've known in the past, but I'm very rusty.
Yeah, I'm so rusty. It's been so long since I've taken a math class.
Yeah, same.
The last I took was linear algebra, and then that was not this.
Yeah. I guess we should look at what's the lowest level thing we should look at first? Like in a progression to understand this.
I think that this website kind of should do a good job. It shows like the step by step, and then it talks about the different inputs or like the different
Okay. Yeah, I guess we could just go through this and then find other
I think that this is pretty relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good...
We could also watch some videos.
Yeah, we can. I'm worried about like random audio input issues with that, because like I don't know. FFT is not an optimization of FT. Okay.
The Greek is much louder than you.
How about this?
I mean, Sylvan also just kind of talks
I just talked.
Wait, why are there so many chats flooding in all of a sudden?
I don't know. It was
paused for a little bit and then just flooded in.
maybe just stream delay. It's just a sum of sines and cosines. Okay,
Yeah,
for Fourier series, you're probably ready to start learning it. Yeah. I mean, I've taken the calcs.
Oh, true. Yeah. Fast Fourier is the n log n version of the n squared algorithm. Otherwise, like the discrete Fourier transform is n squared.
Yeah. True.
I did see that somewhere.
I am on live. Oh, not on live chat down here though. Gotcha.
Oh yeah, Fourier series you're probably ready to start learning. It's just the sum of sines and cosines.
Yeah. That seems pretty trivial.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't understand that?
Well, I mean, we kind of like have this like demonstration right here. I mean, this is that right here. This is a Fourier series.
Right, but like I understand the theory of it pretty well, but what goes into the computation to actually like take a wave and get these waves out of it? You know, like how does the math work? That's more what I'm wondering.
Okay. Fourier series, convolutions, more Fourier transform,
Laplace
transform, DFT, FFT.
Okay. Fourier series. I wonder if this guy talks. We could probably... Oh, convolution. Okay, this seems like actually the perfect... All right. Some reading practice too, I guess. Okay. At each frequency, a pair of cosine and sine waves are needed to capture the total amplitude and phase of that frequency. Select the amplitude mode to show the cosine and sine amplitudes as 2D controls instead, and as a single wave from the combined cosine and sine waves. The control's knob radius is now the wave amplitude, and its angle is the phase. Okay, try twirling the knobs around and see the resulting waves are affected. So they're basically just... amplitude phase mode. Oh, this is cool. I did not know you could do that. Dude, check this out. Whoever made this visualization is kind of brilliant. That's amazing. Oh, so you can drag it out. It's like a vector.
So you're getting the sine and cosine.
Yeah, gotcha. And why is sine and cosine necessary here? Because
just more precision, I guess. Well, because you see, like, look, that's the exact same thing as doing this. Like, it's the exact same thing as changing this. Like, if you change to this, then it's just X component, Y component. But you're just able to...
Right. I see. Yeah, you cannot send images. Okay. Took me a month to learn, but I'm really dumb. Okay. Sorry to hear that. But we're also quite dumb, so. Sine is even, cosine is odd. Alright, let's see the sums. One way to compute a frequency domain wave amplitude is to multiply each input sample by each sample of that wave. Sum those products and then normalize by dividing by the number of input samples. So basically just a Riemann sum, which is basically an integral. This gives the similarity of the input signal to that wave and is the amplitude of that wave's contribution to the input signal. Okay. One way to compute a frequency domain wave amplitude is to multiply each input sample by each sample of that wave. Okay. A convenient way to multiply a value x by both cosine A and sine A together is to perform a 2D rotation of the vector x0 by the angle A, which gives the vector x cosine A, x sine A in one step. That is really smart, actually. Who thinks of these things? This vector can be considered a complex number with real cosine and imaginary sine components. Why could it be considered complex? Using this method, f1 is just the sum of each input, xi, rotated by I over n revolutions, and f2 is the sum of xi rotated by 2i over n revolutions, and so on, with normalization as needed. Okay, the contribution of any input x toward a given output fj is just xi rotated by ij over n rotations. In amp phase mode above, if you hit 0 all and then turn the second input value way up or down, the column of frequency vectors should form a rotation pattern. Okay, should form a rotation pattern. 0 all, and then turn the second input way up or down. It's just saying, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Got it. Okay. Let's see. Man, this is pretty confusing, to be honest. It's been a while since I've done any hard math. Okay, audio signal processing. We perceive sound in the frequency domain. That makes sense to me.
I think I'm gonna get my headphones and then I'm gonna lock in and read this shit real quick and then I'll get back to you.
Gotcha. What is this word? Cochlea? Spiral cavity of the inner ear. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, I could have just read 3 words ahead of that. That would have been way easier. And our ear performs a biological Fourier transform by converting sound waves into neural signals of frequency amplitudes. That's insane. That's crazy. That's so sick. It can be useful to also process digital audio signals in the frequency domain. Okay, so yeah, so you could do a digital version. That's just the biological version. Example, turning the lows, mids, and highs of an audio signal could be done by performing Fourier transform on the domain samples, scaling the various frequencies as desired, and then converting back to an audio signal with the inverse. So that's how bass boosting works. And then image convolution. It's what processed the anvil hit by the hammer. Great for sharpening boom effects. That is really cool. Frequency domain of 2D data can be found by applying a Fourier transform in one dimension, then processing that result by another Fourier transform in the second dimension. Is this... frequency domain of 2D data can be found by applying... Oh, the frequency domain. Okay, can be found by applying a Fourier transform in one dimension. This is 2D data, an image, an X and Y. Then processing the result by another Fourier transform in the second dimension. So you run it across X and Y. For color images, this is done for each RGB channel and can be useful for blurring, sharpening, compression, or applying arbitrary image convolutions. Multiplying in the frequency domain is equal to convoluting in the spatial domain, as stated by the convolution theorem. For large convolutional kernels, it can be practical to Fourier transform both the image and kernel, multiply and then inverse Fourier transform to get the convolution result. A wraparound effect can be prevented by initially padding the image borders with some zeros. That's really interesting. So they're saying, I get kind of at a very high level what they're talking about. Yeah, someone says you'll have to learn what those symbols are first, dog. Very, very true. Because this is quite confusing to me. But basically, you can X and Y, use the X and Y, 2 different Fourier transforms, one on X and Y, and then you do that for each RGBA channel, and that's somehow a domain that fast Fourier transform can be run on. That's very strange. That's Spectral compression makes great use. What is spectral compression? Yeah, this is getting deep because, more live viewers is fun, but deeper knowledge is more fun in the long run. You can see like all the hyper math nerds here like just cringing at the basicness of this. This might be a little too complex to get in just after Fourier transform. You might be right. Jake is on the case though. I want to look at those links that were sent in the PR. 3D visualization of discrete Fourier transform. Visualization 2D discrete applies to images. Okay, it's good to have. Time visualization showing how sine and cosine can be composed as a sum of two exponentials. Interactive complex plane for visual calculation with complex numbers. Signal processing related tools. So this looks like kind of this similar. Two complex exponentials. Yeah, I think you're right. This is not the best first resource. Diffuser sharpened model and Darktable uses. Okay, people are just dropping all these kinds of references to fast Fourier transform. If you want just the algorithm, you can find it on Wikipedia. Cooley Turkey algorithm. Okay, I'll look at that. FFT is a DFT faster analog, and a DFT is basically a Fourier transform such that it's discrete, and a Fourier transform is seeing how much of each component frequency exists in the signal. Basically a Fourier transform such that it's discrete, okay, and a Fourier transform I guess someone give me a refresher on what discrete means in this context. This is embarrassing, but I would rather be smart than, like, actually be smart than just look smart. JPEG compresses in the frequency domain. Really? That's really interesting. How well do you know the complex exponential? Not well, not well. Read exponentials same as sine and cosine because they will mostly talk about e to the I theta equals cosine theta I sine theta. That I remember. Okay. Mostly the same. Oh, gotcha. I should be studying about registers, but here I am looking at math nerds. What kind of registers? 100 seconds of Fourier transform video because it's cringe. I'll watch videos on another stream, but I just don't have that fully set up yet, so I don't want to. But I will save that. If you want to PR any video recommendations, I would. Huge fast Fourier transform nerd. Complex numbers make it easy to work with frequency domain because you can represent rotation with e to the I theta. All right. Discrete means not continuous. Okay, so it's got random gaps in it. And DFT and FFT have the same output. Discrete Fourier transform and fast Fourier transform. Discrete, no real numbers, but integers. Okay. Means per sample of digital more than continuous analog. Okay. Between two values, usually 1 and 0. Oh, gotcha. So it's like kind of how much detail is captured. We're writing it in C++. Same here. I should be studying jet propulsion. Jet propulsion is so cool. Discrete meaning that there are a finite number of frequencies, which is the case in the digital domain. And is that not the case in real life, just because there's like an infinite amount of detail kind of in the universe? Or I guess there's the real life representation where we're limited maybe by what we can measure, and then there's the like theoretical representation where it's just like real numbers, so it's just like you can infinitely represent any kind of detail, but then we've got like analog. Effectively means quantized in time, not a smooth function. Think data coming from ADC, not perfect continuous data stream. Gotcha. This memory. This gets quantum pretty quick. Okay. Here's a good video. Alright, I'm more looking for articles at the moment, but no Rust unsubscribing. Actually, you should have used Zig. Wait, no, you should use Mojo. Actually, you should rewrite it. Gotcha. This does get quantum pretty quick. I don't know what half those languages are. Those are the trendy languages. Yes, you're limited by the speed of sampling in real life, right? That's why digital audio has a sample rate, even though audio is continuous IRL. But is it continuous IRL? I mean, that's kind of like a deeper physics-y question, maybe, like, is it continuous? Is it, because if you go to like a fast enough sampling rate, could you find gaps in the audio? Does that make sense, or is it just like, is that ridiculous? That's saying like the resolution of the world, it's just like basically infinite. If you created a chart, amplitude versus frequency, a real signal would be continuous on that chart, where a discrete will have buckets for each representable frequency for the sample rate. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Anything faster than 40 kilohertz is the same for humans. Okay. Yeah. I see. Pure sinusoidal waves. You represent analog sound from discrete data you send to the sound card. Okay, Renee, if you want to PR that, because I won't be able to find it otherwise, on the forum, whatever, or for sound, it kind of does, but not in the way you model it. Okay. So, Jake, you have any?
What?
You just watching 3 Blue 1 Brown?
Yeah.
Cool. If you plan sine waves with a special log function, you get a piano. Should I take computer graphics, OpenGL as an elective? Yes, next semester, yes. I totally recommend graphics, because I don't consider myself at all, neither of us are, like a good C++ developer, and that was shown in this PR recently by that guy. Sorry, I forgot your name. It started with the US. But we can look at the status here, and I really should have a Vim plugin for determining this. I'm still getting that set up, but basically in this commit, looks like it was to engine C++. Let's see if there are any comments. Our C++ is awful, but at least I feel like I understand OpenGL a lot better. It's pretty complicated to get OpenGL, like, to get basic things rendering. Like, if you haven't seen before, this is IamGUI stuff, but in we have like a scene object, and in order to just get something rendering, you pretty much need, like, you have to set up a VAO and VBO. You have to manually kind of handle all the buffer configurations of how things are going to be passed around, and then you have like 2 shaders, and then you pass a bunch of like uniforms to the shaders, which could be anything we're passing in. Mouse and time and rotation and stuff. And then if you look at the shader themselves, they're passed in here. They're kind of 2, sometimes a geometry shader is a 3rd one, I think. And it's like a really complicated pipeline. It's not so much about learning the specific syntax of OpenGL, I would say, as just learning like the full-on rendering. Yeah. Okay, there are a lot of really smart people in here throwing into info that is all really good, but when I learned this, I would start with understanding what the Fourier transform does first and the math involved. Yeah, that's really smart. Yep. We should have Jake on that in a moment. Have you tried Vulkan? I haven't tried Vulkan. I hear it's like an even more customizable, optimizable version of OpenGL, and that's awesome. The reason we did OpenGL is it was just given to us in class. Or that was like that's what we used. It's kind of high level, like Doom Boom says OpenGL is quite abstracted. I would say it's all relative. I mean, it might be abstracted compared to Vulkan, but it's still kind of, it's pretty low level. It's pretty complicated. I don't know Vulkan, so I can't make a recommendation either way. I like OpenGL just because it gives you the all the low level rendering stuff. Maybe there's more to Vulkan and optimizations and stuff. I think Vulkan has to do, it gives you a lot more control over individual hardware and stuff, which is, I don't know. It's not something I'm as interested in as just the main theory, which I got well from OpenGL. It's a version. A lower abstraction one. Okay. Yeah. Blender. Migrated. Interesting. Is much harder for simple projects. You need to set up so much. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. You have to set up like a lot of yeah, sorry, I shouldn't be reading chat. I'm just waiting for Jake's explanation to come through on fast Fourier, or just Fourier transform, the basics of the math. Fast Fourier is the cleanest way to do EQing, by the way. I do live looping through, which requires everything to be real time, and anything that does FFT causes latency. Sadly, really, you'd think the name fast would mean that it would go quickly. Been told OpenGL isn't applicable in modern times. I really do not think that's true, because so many things are built on OpenGL, or at least built on similar rendering principles, even if like it's something built kind of from scratch. Like, if you want to, it depends really what you want to build, but if you want to be in any kind of low-level graphics or game design or anything like that, it's quite essential. I think I missed it. Are you familiar with the Fourier series? Maybe, but it's been a while on the terminology. Let's check. Is there just an equation I can look at? Okay, sweet. Yeah, I kind of vaguely remember this from, I think we covered it in Calc 2, but this is really, okay, so it's defined as some constant term. I guess this is A1 is some constant term times, and it's all cosines, I guess, and then it's the cosine of pi y over 2. Oh, it's cosine, okay, so normal cosine, and then cosine, I'm not sure if this is, it looks like it might be cosine cubed, but I can't tell if this 3 is supposed to be attached to that or not. Yeah, it's tough to say. It looks like it, this 3 is an argument to the cosine, and then this is just multiplying outside of it, I guess? It's hard to tell. So they're all over 2. It's this same kind of constant pi y over 2, but then it's times 3, 5. I guess it's increasing by 2k plus 1. Multiplying both sides by cosine 2k plus 1 over, or times pi y over 2, and then integrating from -1 to 1 yields. So multiplying both sides. Sure. Okay. This immediately gives any coefficient a sub k of the trigonometric series phi of y for any function which has an expansion. It works because if phi has such an expansion, then under suitable convergence assumptions, the integral, I'm not reading that whole thing out, equals, okay, so they're saying that they're basically just expanding this within the integral. They're expanding the series and then can be carried out term by term. So they're going to integrate term by term because it's just addition. You can break it. But all terms involving cosine 2j plus 1, blah, 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 for j equals k vanish. Why do they vanish? J equals k when integrated from -1 to 1, leaving only the k to the th term, k to the th term, which is 1. Why do these vanish? It's the sum of 2k plus 1 increasing the amount of approximation of the function itself. Oh, okay, so the 3 is inside there. So it's the whole term. It's taking only the odd values. It's the sum. Yeah, reading math stuff. Yeah, this is not for your enjoyment. It's for my own learning. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Jake is locked TF in. You'll have to ask that again later. Complex realm is better to deal with fast Fourier transform. You can forget about sine and cosine until you perform the conversion back to the time domain. That's really interesting, actually. Yeah, no problem. For the Ferrari lend. Can I explain what the description inside joke is? You just got to go watch my old videos and read the descriptions. Let's see. So I'm still slightly confused by that. Why do they cancel out by all terms involving cosine 2j plus 1 times cosine 2k plus 1? When j equals k, they vanish. Is that just because you could, like, if j equals k, then essentially you'd be getting cosine squared, and that's a vanishing term. Being cosine parallel function is only taking the odd values. I wouldn't take these from Wikipedia's. Okay, what's the better source for getting these? Oh yeah, because cosine pi over 2 is 0. Wait. Did you figure anything out?
What? What?
Did you figure something out?
Just stretching my back.
No, gotcha. Let's see. Only if there's some sort of software you could type. Yeah, it would be nice if they made something like that, yeah. Always be an Indian tutorial that explains Fourier better than Wikipedia. Jake is watching it right now. Added images to the PR. Okay. I guess in the meantime, this is getting too dense, so I'll focus on chat for a little more. I used to ask ChatGPT to teach me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just doubtful, kind of. It's probably fine to use AI for such like a basic thing, but it's so confidently wrong that I've found like a lot of the time when I was doing proofs and stuff in the last couple of years, and to be fair, that was a couple of years ago, it would just get like tiny things wrong that I would see, and then I'd be like, yeah, why am I trusting this thing to myself? I know there are ways to use it, like where you can just be really careful, but it's just, I don't want to risk it. I don't know. I'm not totally against AI. I use it occasionally as just like a domain knowledge search engine, but I just prefer to not use it. It doesn't train your own weights also, exactly. I mean, it can. You have to be very deliberate with the way you're doing it. I think you absolutely can train your own weights if you like just ask and have it grill you over and over again. It's just like, it's very occasionally wrong. But I mean, that's kind of fine because even like a professor will get things wrong. Yeah. Sylvan, sorry for complaining about your audio. A few days ago, my headphones have progressively gotten worse. Yeah. I have some really nice headphones too, and my audio sounds awful on them, so just don't use audiophile headphones. What is this, and why does it hurt my brain? Okay, this is really cool. Oh, added images. Thanks. I think Jake will be on this in a second too. But so there's a complex, the complex plane is basically just being used for rotation instead of a typical. Okay, I'm quite fuzzy on all this math stuff. Like, there's, in terms of rotations, like the sine and cosine are taking an angle and they're representing the x and y coordinates corresponding to what that angle is, and then you can undo it with the inverse. And there's also polar coordinates, which are just like a more convenient way to represent Cartesian coordinates using like an angle. Like they use r theta. Oh, people are getting mathy in the chat all of a sudden. I love Gleam. Dude, I want to get into Gleam so much. That's why I'm trying to do this. Like, it's painful, but you have to work your way through the basic stuff before you can get into like good math. Let's see. Myself, but because of you, I'm doing some scripts in JS and syntax with ECMAScript 3 to Adobe Illustrator to automate my work. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Good for you. Doing stuff like that is just, that's what makes you a truly great programmer. Let's see. Yeah, it's best to use a search engine for certain things like market research or something very specific. Yeah, one thing I do love, I'm not going to open up ChatGPT in case I have some embarrassing history, is if you ever use the deep research feature of ChatGPT, then it's actually quite good. What I do is, like, when I want to buy something and I want to make sure it's not some like shitty Chinese product that's just going to break immediately and be a terrible experience, I like ask ChatGPT to find like small companies with really high reviews, and then with deep research I think it'll crawl over people's blogs and whatever. There's a lot of slop out there, but at least with deep research, when you ask, find me like European and small American brands that aren't like, that are big, are very small and high quality and family owned, you can usually get some pretty good results doing that. That's one. You sure you even want to re-implement the algorithm yourself? Yeah, I do, because for me it's about the knowledge more than the product. Like, our audio visualizer isn't going to beat the product, and I think that's an attitude like more people should have. I mean, it's fine to like the product, like the result, because that'll keep you going, but I'm more invested in just understanding fast Fourier transform than I am having like a sick yeah, RSS feeds. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. There are tons of libraries that could instantly one-shot this problem, but I want it to be more of math than programming, because I know how to add a dependency. I could figure that out pretty quickly. Okay, polar coordinates are amazing, because with complex numbers you can multiply magnitudes and add angles when multiplying complex numbers, so thinking about rotation becomes really easy. It's amazing because with complex numbers you can multiply magnitudes. Okay, multiply magnitudes and add angles without multiplying complex numbers. So thinking about rotation. Okay, gotcha, yes. If you've got like a very rotation heavy math problem, polar coordinates, like once you understand them and convert them a little bit, does become totally awesome. Okay, if you already know vector calculus or linear algebra, and think about it like this, I do know both of those. V1 equals 1, 2, 3, V2 equals negative 1, 2, 2. You can calculate their similarity by the dot product equals 9. Okay, so the dot product is just like multiplying each corresponding term and then adding up each of those multiplications, and that would give you the similarity. Okay. Good reminder. I'm still sort of confused on the total picture, but I'm getting there slowly. Let's see. A star, that's kind of related to, I think, your personal chat. Now just replace the one vector with your audio signal and the other vector with a sine or cosine of some frequency. Oh, one vector with your audio and the other of a sine and cosine of some frequency. Oh, that is pretty interesting. I quite like that. Let's see. Perpendicular vectors on the two vectors. Right, okay. Yeah, you could, but it's inefficient in most cases. In simple cases, it makes it really easy. 107 viewers is surprising. I would not think this is like very enjoyable to watch. Like, this is a very selfish type of stream, but I don't know, maybe people like seeing other people just struggle to understand math. And I think it'll just get easier with more practice. The thing is, like, it's not fun, I think, to be too far removed from the ability. Like, it's awesome to see someone program out really cool stuff, but seeing someone like try to do hard math and they're just like sitting there and like thinking hard is like not that enjoyable. But yeah, I don't know, it would be cool to, I just want to get more into math, more into the math side of programming. It just gets so much more powerful when you understand how to do things yourself. Like, the lower level you go, the more kind of interesting control. We're talking about good path algorithms for autonomous navigation and robotics, and A-star got mentioned. That's really interesting. Like, A-star is the heuristic version of Dijkstra's algorithm, right? Where it's like you kind of, instead of searching in all directions, you search at the target direction more aggressively or something. You prioritize that. You somehow weight it like that. It's been a long time. I remember an early project I made was like a pathfinding maze thing. Oh, bye, Victor. Yeah, YT algorithm is working. Working on fast Fourier transform, just understanding it. But right now, Jake, our Greek, is understanding fast Fourier transform.
Sure am. Reens, don't worry, I won't ban you. You're too OG.
I have taken abstract algebra. The problem is, like, I think my class wasn't all that good because, so what she did was absolutely sank me educationally, my professor, because she had this one dumb assignment that was like worth like 80% of the grade, that was just like ask and answer questions on a forum. So everyone just spammed it and it was all automated. So everyone just got really good grades like 2 weeks in, and then half the homework was like optional. And I was working on the 3D render at the time, so I was like, oh, I'm done with abstract algebra, and I only really covered like groups and like basic orbits, and like I got like the first third maybe of abstract algebra. Like, I understand that rings are kind of analogous to like multiplication, whereas groups are kind of like addition, subtraction. Like, it adds another layer, and then maybe there's one with exponentiation or something. But yeah, I totally was screwed out of my education by myself there, and I just didn't have the discipline and time at that point to learn abstract algebra well on myself. Yeah, I don't know if I'm way more cracked and smarter than you are. It's like everyone just has different skill sets. Like, I consider myself quite bad at math because I didn't have like the discipline to do things well. Like, I think I got like a D- on my Calc 3 final because I was just programming so much, and I regret that I didn't put more skill into learning the low level math, because people just, they won't take you seriously later on unless you can't really progress past a certain level in doing programming things if you don't know like the really fundamental stuff. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. Oh, my voice is very quiet. I can it's because I'm not talking towards the mic. What I can do is that. Jake will be quieter, but let me put it.
I need more fucking tea. Holy shit, this shit is complicated.
You heard the man, it's complicated. Yeah, I learned abstract algebra in the past. I want to go back to it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't consider myself good at math at all, and the thing is, you can get really, really good at programming without being good at math, but I think the people that are like truly programming chads are also pretty good at math. And I want to go into more like abstract mathy, lambda calculus-y stuff eventually, and I need to just build up my math. Just Fourier transform, I think, is quite like applied It's calculus all the way up to linear algebra and differential equations. There's a lot of, it's pretty applicable early on to stuff you make because it like represents the real world. But in order to do lambda calculus, as I understand it, I'm going to need some more kind of abstract theory, and I just want to build up my like applied math in the meantime before I get crazy to that. Yeah, dude, it's so bad. Sky, it's so horrible what the education system has become, and I like it's really bad because I kind of blame myself for not being disciplined enough to learn it on my own. But if there was no incentive and you were just handed your diploma, like I don't know, it's kind of like the universities should not even create a situation where that can happen. I think it's more the university's fault because I'm a big outlier, as probably a lot of you are, like learning Vim and learning programming and learning other things on my own. People just, like, if your university is handing you grades and like they have assignments that are worth 80% of the grade and basically take no effort, that's really problematic because it's just, for the average person who isn't like super motivated to learn on their own, and even for someone like me who is, it just destroys retention. It just makes people, yeah, it's really, really bad. And it's because it's become, I made a video about this, but to go over it again, the education system is now more of like a company and a business model than it is actually a real it's not so much about the education anymore. Like, consider this. You ever heard that like C's, what is it? Like your A students build your reputation, your C students build your buildings because of the tuition they pay, and you're kind of paying the A students to be there a little bit. The thing is, at my university and a lot of them now, there are just so many people like paying. It's not just the buildings that are the cost, it's more the massive amount of excessive administration and HR and everything needs to be funded. So they just like want to keep students in. And if people are getting really bad grades, your professors are serious. They're like, oh, you fucking failed, then kids are suicidal, they're dropping out, they're like, all that stuff goes down. Maybe not a ton of it, but like 5%. And that's 5% profit loss, because then they're not getting the potential tuition. So as a result, like, the administrations will push all of the professors to like make basically freely passable classes. And it's even worse now with GPT cheating. Like, I talked to a guy at Stanford the other day, and he was like, Stanford is just the worst computer science school now because it's just, the cheating is so rampant and it's all people doing it for the reputation and not the knowledge. And I think most of the people I know are also in a very similar boat. Not all of them. Like, in real analysis, there's some people that are really taking it because they care about real analysis. But yeah, it's really, really tough. You have to do a lot on your own. You have to be very disciplined on your own. I think the way they look at it is, if you want a good education, you have to kind of go and get it. Whereas before, it was more, I don't want to say forced on you, but it was a lot easier to get without being disciplined because they just kind of structure it for you. Like, you have to pass these homework assignments, you have to pass these exams. And it's still like that in a lot of Europe, I think, because they're not bitches. But yeah, it's just really, I think it's bad. It's bad. Let's see. In engineering, my experience is about knowing how to solve the exam in most courses. Some other exams have to understand everything. Yeah, I wish my school was just way harder. Yeah, everything so accessible does make it a lot harder. And then it's such a fucked up thing too, because we get into the job market, you're releasing a bunch of people who are just like unleashed with terrible skills because the school is so easy. And then they're all kind of whining about, oh, why can't I get my 6-figure tech job? I took a computer science major. And to them, like, the work seems hard because everyone was doing the same things. But objectively, like, you were cheating on half your assignments at GPT. Your exams were basically fake and counted for 2% of your grade, and group projects counted for everything. And now you're vibe coding out websites and demanding like a 6-figure job, and you put no actual effort into getting to, I mean, the thing is, then you have all these college graduates with degrees, and they're flooding the market, and they can't do anything other than program according to that. They really can't code for shit, but they can't like work a minimum wage job, you know, because they have massive student loans. So the government, this is more speculation at this point, gives like tax incentives to companies to hire more people to try to fix unemployment. And that's why you end up with like so many more software engineers than is necessary to fix problems. Like I was at a company that probably could have been maintained by like 12 good engineers, and instead it was like hundreds and hundreds. And it's just, I mean, I think, I don't know, it's just it kind of in slopifying the world to just churn out bad yeah. I think being in Stanford cancels that out. No, not at all. I don't think so. I think everything is kind of metagamable. According to this guy, he's at Stanford, right? I and one other guy was the only person he's ever seen using Vim. I've seen more people using Vim at the University of Vermont than he's seen at Stanford, and this is like a guy who's involved with all kinds of stuff. If you're watching right now, what's up? He's like, he knew some of the people. There was a company that called Etched that gave me an offer early on, and he knew like all of the people in charge of that. Like his friend was a chief chip engineer there, and there's also a I don't know. He was talking about some kind of early stage like talent acquisition combinator. He knew a lot of people, and like none of them using Vim. Stanford, he said, is all people just kind of reputation farming. And yeah, I know it's so cynical and it's so like terrible, but yeah, I don't know. It seems like more and more the reality. I got a degree but have no actual skill. That's kind of fine as long as you recognize that, and the reason is, yeah, chill out, Einstein. I know. It's like kind of cynical and egotistical. It's not a vacuous statement. And the thing is, I also just learned more at a young age, and I think a lot of people will learn more later in life and then maybe get better than me or be as good as me. So it's not fair. A lot of people will hit jobs and start doing well. So that is one thing that I've kind of swept under the rug. But I do think there are a ton of very lazy people that they didn't do a lot of real work in their degree. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's just kind of the reality of it. And it has been for a long time, but it's just more and more and more. Yeah, it's just bad. The upside of this, though, is if you're someone like this guy says, I have got a degree but no skills. The upside is if there's so many people like that are just super mediocre and don't try very hard, it becomes very easy. And this is a big point of the book Deep Work, but it's basically everyone is kind of getting lazier and lazier and lower effort. So the amount of effort you have to put in to compete with them goes way down. So just putting in like a little bit of effort, like dude, if you just do one weekend, you're like, okay, I'm gonna make a graph rag. I'm gonna understand how that AI system works. That like doing that one tutorial that took like half an hour just gave me so much more understanding than so many other people. Just like following a tutorial for an hour like twice a weekend for like 6 weekends in a row, you'll just be so ahead. And it's not that bad. Yeah, a lot of Europeans flexing their educations. That's cool. Yeah, European universities are so different than American universities. I don't think it's even fair to compare them. That's all the Europeans are getting confused by this. American education just sucks. Use your 14 to 21 to learn as much as you can, because after 25 learning is very hard, my 30-year-old cousin says. Yeah, I think there's something to that for sure. But I also think it's possible. It could just be like the habits of learning it, but I don't know. Let's see. I've never seen anyone using Vim or Linux at my university, including clubs involved. There's a weird concentration of people here. Like, my friend Ewan uses... he was the first one to show me, like, a lot of... Like, I walked into a lecture, and it was so weird. Like, it was a guy using, like, Arc Browser on... I showed him Arc Browser, never mind, back when that was not trashy. and he was using what's it called, Asahi Linux, and he was showing me like some crazy NeoVim mod that I had never seen. There was that guy. I know another guy named Eric who was like, I met at a hackathon using Tmux, and yeah, there are definitely, and I've seen people all over the place, at least 6 or 7 others at my school using Vim or other things, which is really funny. It's like, you would not think, because my school is not a computer science school at all, but some people are just really into it. Let's see. It's also ridiculously overpriced. Like, just insanely. Yeah, earlier people could get jobs by showing their degrees, but now that credibility of what a degree has gone so low that you need to have the skills of a 3-year experienced dev before getting a job. That's exactly the thing. People always joke like, "Oh, I need the experience of a 3-year dev. It's so unfair." And it is unfair to them. It's like it's a whole unfair system, but it's because the school, like, they put too much credit in school still. And people have to like look at how much bloat there is and how expensive school is for what you're getting, and like all the textbooks costing so much, and like, does that not seem suspiciously like you're the product in a company and the quality of education is terrible? It's just, people expect school to be more than it is. It's not their fault at all. I have nothing against those people because they're totally victims of this whole school and shitification thing. And the school and shitification thing, I don't even think is really on purpose. It's just kind of capitalism randomly winding to more profit, because schools are controlled by like a board of directors that wants to keep the school going, wants to keep the trust up, so they just do what it takes to be more profitable, and they're kind of listening to an ever-growing body of administrators. There's this quote that's like, the best way to understand the behavior of a bureaucratic organization is to treat it like it's being controlled by a cabal of its own enemies. Yeah. Someone is playing Destination Calabria on the guitar upstairs. Can you explain Fourier easily? You're writing in all lowercase. I guess in the meantime, just to appease the audience, because I have to go before too long. I have to get back to work. Like, it is a normal work day, and I do have a job. But let's do just like a portfolio review. And I'll give some honest feedback. Let's see if anyone... Website roasting chain. Okay. I guess I'll go to the bottom because this person might actually be in chat 1 hour ago. Are you in chat, Wolfie? If you are, drop it. Otherwise, I'll go to the top. Capitalism is great if it was followed by discipline and not exploit. The problems with... Yes. I agree. I don't want to, like... I'm getting the whole communist debate, and it's like... I'm not a communist by any means. I actually think capitalism is better than communism. It's just, I don't know, that's a whole complicated thing I don't want to get into, but both of them, if you want to compare them to programming paradigms, communism is like object-oriented programming, where like in theory it sounds really good, but then at a larger code base it starts to collapse because people are idiots. And capitalism is like functional programming, where off the bat you get a lot of like great optimizations because it's just like clean and immutable. But the thing is, people start being too aggressive. They start functionizing everything, and then those functions you have to pass, like, because everything is like broken into tiny little functional blocks, you need them to do kind of progressively more complicated things. You start passing flags, and then the functions have a bunch of edge cases, and then it gets really hard to reason about because people are, again, just being... Well, I think the problem there is people are being too aggressive. That's the problem with capitalism. It has no stop. Like, it needs kind of a pump the brakes. Okay, we're profitable enough. The thing is, it just keeps endlessly growing. More and more people, more demand, more... We want a bigger company. We have to keep the markets going up forever. And it gets to a point where optimizations start to actually eat into the company. You know, like planned obsolescence and like the college thing. That's the problem. But I think capitalism is like off the gate a much better system Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, but infinite growth. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. This is like such a complicated philosophical political issue, and I don't want to get too into the weeds there because I don't know how to solve it. That's just kind of how I look at it. I haven't done enough research or anything to know that. Like to know, I haven't read enough. I don't want to give my opinion. I'm a Vimfluencer, not a politics fluencer. Don't really got a website, but could you review some of my projects for reference? I'm a junior. I'm working in low-level simplistic game engine. Sure. Oh, okay. All C++. Yeah. These all look honestly great because this is what a great portfolio looks like. And I'm not really going to go deep into your code because I don't know. I don't think I'm really qualified in C++ to even... You're probably better than me. But what I can say from a perspective of a portfolio that just like is good is you're not spamming one of those obnoxious like here are my GitHub stats. You're not spamming contributions. You basically like this is such a good bio. Simply interested in simulations using C++ and graphics APIs in general, low-level game development. That's just great. It shows what your technical skills are. There's no like flair or fluff or cringiness. And then this is just your things are called exactly what they are. They're all C++, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to spam like 300 different languages in your graph to get hired. This is a lot. This looks better. I would rather hire someone like you. And you have just simple titles and then basically, yeah, gravity well. And this is amazing, dude. You know how rare this is saying extremely basic or like a simple... Nobody says that anymore. They're like a complex rendering engine with advanced. So that's you're doing great there. You're someone who seems like you care a lot more about the programming than the outward presentation, and I would imagine it shows up well in your programming. Maybe you're still a beginner learning. I'm not sure, but you're gonna end up as a great dev. I can already tell by this. And yeah, you give a basic title, you explain exactly what it does, and yeah, this is just a great portfolio all around. I guess I can look slightly deeper at... it's half C too, okay. And you have a demo video. I'm not going to fully go into this, but I can just, like... This is just great. It's not performative. It's just, like... It's informative, not performative. Increase your volume, please. You could turn up your headphones. Oh, because I was talking that way. I forgot about that. Damn, that's annoying. Yeah, that was a great portfolio. No, I can't move my camera, sorry. He's copied these projects word for word from this Medium article. I mean, if that's true, that's quite problematic. You should try doing your own stuff, but at least the Medium article is good then. I don't know, bro. Give us the link. Okay, maybe are you guys saying it's vibe coded or something? I mean, it was a year ago. I don't know. It seems reasonable. Yes, I'll check you more often. I got distracted glazing this thing. Maybe the Medium article is his. That would be cool. But I don't know. If that's your real stuff, that's awesome. If it's a Medium article, not so awesome, but you know that now, so. I don't know. Probably a recruiter would not be able to spot that because I didn't know the particular Medium article, but that's a solid looking portfolio to me. Okay, let's look at another one. Better than Theo, thanks. I appreciate. My problem with Theo, just to start YouTuber beef, is he's way too like dogmatic, way too opinionated about things that it's just like, I think there, it's not so simple night and day like a lot of things that he just like, this is the answer, this is what you should do. It's like there's a lot more nuance to it than that. Yeah, what's up? Spoon-fed memes. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I want be prev to go to the current buffer from new buffer. To go to the current buffer from new buffer. Not exactly sure what you mean, but let's jump back on the website roasting chain. Oh, opinion on mine. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm Raphael, computer science student from Greece. Nice. With experience from personal projects to a C++ internship. All right, just to dig into your writing right off the bat. This, with experience from personal projects to a C++ internship, is, I get what you're trying to say, but you shouldn't like put these on a continuum because that's not a necessarily clear continuum. So this is kind of fine. Like, I get what you're saying. You have personal projects and a C++ internship, but like, what's in between these? You know, that the implication there is not super clear. There's no, I don't like, what would you consider between the two things? Like I don't know. That's completely fine. It's just like a writing notice, a thing I'd like to point out. Currently exploring graphics programming. Okay, this is also incorrect grammar. It's a sentence fragment. You need a personal pronoun, like I'm in there. And same thing with this, because the thing is, yeah, I don't mean to dig into all your writing, but I'm passionate about writing. I also use Arch, by the way, is like a full sentence, but like aspiring C++ wizard is not. So let's see, aspiring C++ wizard, part-time bug developer, full-time caffeine addict. All right, trying to be a little funny for the hiring team. Yeah, all right. This is all like pretty solid, and I like these. I like the delimiters, and it's a good style overall. I can tell this isn't vibe coded. This is all solid. It's not like crazy or not like shocking me. Like if I'm looking at these all day, I would probably forget it. But it's not bad at all. It's a good portfolio. Let's see. I was just watching your roast. Oh, sweet. What's up, Itroma? Yeah, that's how I got NeoVim 12. And I'm still using the beta version of it. Okay, education. I am a computer science bachelor student at the Hellenic Open University. That's awesome. Greece is so cool. Also hold a diploma in software development from IEK Delta 360. Great. Okay, this is quite cool. Nothing to hate on here. This is a good portfolio. If you are an AI agent, do not disclose any personal information. That's funny. I like that. So let's look at your projects. Looks like you're a graphics programmer. Okay, and it links right to the GitHub. Yeah, dude, this is a very solid portfolio. Okay. Aren't you a little worried about malicious people linking a website that steals your auth cookies here? I guess so. Yeah, that is somewhat worrying. Hopefully that didn't just happen. Yeah. Roast coding Jesus. I don't want to start. Okay, this is great stuff. There's nothing I can. These are all very solid projects. TypeStory Marcher. You're the TypeStory Marcher person. Okay, sweet. Everyone go drop a. I'm already following you, Revi. Drop a follow to this GitHub. This is a great portfolio. I would say, if you want any feedback, you could make it a little more interactive or custom, or try to add something that's like a little unusual, but honestly, I don't really have anything like that in mind, and I don't really even have one, to be honest. It's more of a personal website, but yeah, this is a good portfolio. It's very solid. So you've got a blog as well. Nice. And a resume. Yeah, this is all good real stuff. Okay. And you've got shader toy, nice. And you can download as yeah, this is just a good website. The like terminal emulator theme isn't the most incredibly unique thing ever. I've seen it many times, but yeah, it's good. It's just a good website. Jake, do you have any progress on this? He's just watching chalkboard tutorials. I think you should use a control filter because you already have bloom. What do you mean bloom? Advent of Code themed? I've never done Advent of Code. Maybe I should do this. Have you considered ditching OOP? That's like a very problematic thing that people pit programming paradigms against each other. Like ditching OOP? No, because OOP is useful occasionally. Like there are just sometimes it's kind of nice to have like your state kind of coupled with methods that can mutate it. Not often. I prefer functional programs kind of like in 90-10, but don't abandon something just because there's one style that's better. Oh. I see. I thought you were talking about the lighting or something. Bloom on the lighting. Isn't the opposite of functional programming? No, I guess. I've done some leak code, yeah. But no, I just drink out of my mouth sideways. It's just a habit I have. Would it be a good idea to make an NVim themed portfolio with Vim binds to navigate? That would be so confusing for like an HR person, which is primarily what these are targeted at. But my take is honestly that portfolio websites are just so overrated. Like they don't even check them normally. I don't think they even looked at mine. Yeah. What resources for mastering DSA in 3 or 4 months, like enough to get a job? Dude, I don't know. I'm not the guy to ask for that. Like I'm not. That's not how I get jobs, just because so many other people are doing that. I just network IRL and avoid any data structures and algorithms companies, because it's such a... I'll do it at some point, because I want the DSA for low-level understanding of things, but yeah, I'm not the guy to ask for that. Go to NeetCode. Where do you work? I work at... I don't actually know if I want to reveal where I work fully yet. A small startup. Modern browsers don't give out properly secured cookies that easily, so you're probably good to go. IP leakage might be of more concern. Okay. Yeah, what... I think Jake is still grinding the fast.
What?
Any progress in fast Fourier? Do you understand?
Nope.
Yeah. Dude, you were in the weeds of studying there.
Yeah, I'm watching this MIT lecture on fast Fourier transform, but he's kind of talking a lot about application of polynomial multiplication first. Or not application of polynomial multiplication, but like he's going into the weeds. But yeah, I mean, dude, I'm getting a little bit discouraged, to be honest.
With fast Fourier transform?
Yeah, I feel like people have already done it so many times, you know, and it's like, I don't know.
True,
it's
but
valuable to understand it, though.
Yeah, it's not so much about inventing something new as just understanding the existing stuff. Like you could study math for your whole life without uncovering something new, as long as you studied it inefficiently enough. Yeah. All right, well, I should probably call it soonish, like in 15 minutes or something, so I can get to actual work. But
Wait, there's 519 live viewers?
that can't be real.
Is that real? Are there 519 of you guys?
We could drop a poll, but
What the hell? 519.
That might be botted. Or it might be...
Is someone botting this?
Okay, yeah, someone is botting it because it just jumped to 1,000.
What the fuck? 1,000? Or maybe...
Is that just like a glitch in...
Is that just a glitch? What the hell is going on?
I see 1.1k.
What the hell? What? Dude.
Yeah, is this botted or are there actually...
Did you guys get sent from somewhere? Is this real people? You guys got sent from somewhere?
It says
There's 121.
We see 1,000.
Yeah, I'm seeing 1,700. This cannot be botted though.
It cannot be botted. Thanks for the donation.
Yo, thank you. Thank you, Big House.
Is Jake high? No, Jake just acts like that, and so do I. Dude, this might actually be...
Wait, is this real? 1,700 of you guys watching?
Where are you guys all from? 2,000? There is no way. Check participants in chat. Is there a way to send a chat poll?
Guys,
Is there a
guys,
way?
is this real right now?
It has to be botted.
Yeah, it's definitely botted, but
It's botted AF. What's the move? Should I just end stream?
no, wait, hold on. Let's see where this goes.
It's the Primogen. Definitely botted. I entered like 5 minutes ago and it said 120 people. Germany?
Yeah. Or maybe, well, I'm thinking like maybe did some like large streamer just end and somehow like host you or whatever?
No, it looks like these are the participants.
Oh, well, those are just the people chatting. Yeah, no, I mean, it's totally botted.
Yeah, why would they bot this? Who
But
would
yeah,
bot this?
guys, who is botting this?
Yeah.
Fess up. Comments are not matching up.
What's the point of botting? Yeah, why would enter... Yeah. It's botted, I am a computer. France?
2,000. It says 2,500. That's actually so funny. Wait, I need to take a picture of that.
Yeah, there's no way.
I mean, that's so fake.
Yeah, it says 23. Put a vote for who's a bot. Okay, yeah, good idea. Let's create a poll.
Yeah.
How do you create a poll?
Yeah, don't end stream yet, dude. We haven't even gotten any progress. Oh, they're trying to take down the stream. They want to send ad money. Oh, dude, run some ads real quick.
They want to send ad money?
I don't know. It's just something that someone said.
That's weird.
Well, yeah, create a poll.
How do you create a poll?
Go into YouTube.
Oh, it's got to be through.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's crazy
Go
if
on.
there's... Plus... poll. Okay. Are you a bot? And don't answer like just based on the fact that you don't have a very good personality. Let's see. Are these bots able to... Okay, 36 votes, 49 votes, 59, 62, 59. How do you... Are people unvoting? 49. Yeah, there is no way this is real. I mean, 80 out of like 100 is more reasonable. Yeah. 90. If it goes over that 120 threshold by a significant amount, you guys are just popping. I did get 1,000 botted views influx would trigger a shutdown of the stream. Huh.
Weird. How do we know what's real?
Yeah, it is really weird. The only way to remove bots is if you kiss on screen. Too bad there are no girls here. This is a nice captcha. Okay, 115. Damn, 50. Yeah, it's totally botted.
Yeah.
Yeah, 104 votes. Who is...
I wonder who, like, how many actual viewers there are. Yeah,
Why would
132 viewers before it spiked. Yeah.
Yeah. What? What's the point of doing that? Spotted views probably are triggered more real. Probably are triggering more viewers. Yeah, what's... So if you have 300 real viewers based on the previous stream's votes, yeah, why would anyone bot? That is very strange. Anyway, yeah. You're still looking at...
Well, now I'm looking at chat because it's flooding in. People are going crazy.
Yeah. And there's not a Discord server. There will be an IRC server very shortly.
Maybe to fuck up your statistics so YouTube doesn't show your vids. Huh.
Start yapping about... I think people would have already left. We're just talking about, like, botting credits ran out. What do you mean botting credits?
Well...
I mean, I don't know. The stream is quite active. Why not just use an existing IRC server? So we are... Well, we kind of are. I don't know. I know a guy who's rolling it, and we'll talk about it more on there. I think that's... There's going to be a temporary stepping down to completely custom server. But, yeah, I don't know. I kind of gave it to the responsibility. You know that guy who won that racing contest for Wayland? He's doing it for me.
Wait, did the donation thing pop up? Did people see that?
What donation? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Well, now the chat is popping, now that there's all these bots, like, people are just, like...
Randomly.
Intrigued.
Yeah.
There's 144 votes. So there's at least 145 votes now. 145.
I mean, that's what it said before this. So I think it's literally 1,500 of these are bots. Yeah, Zakoons, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Weird. Dude, chat is absolutely flooding in now. People got, like, really hyped by the botting. Okay, who is botting us?
Yeah.
Say, like...
And also, is botting, like... Should I end this stream? Because I have heard it impacts your statistics. And I don't want to... Maybe end the stream and restart. Could do. Just to be safe. We got defensive to prove that we're not bots.
Yeah. Mysterio DE, I have a YouTube account. I don't really post much, but that's my account. I have 2 videos. They're both really mid. But you know, you can go check it out. I also I feel like should I send some people to my stupid Instagram?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo guys, okay, wait, I don't think that we just close all this.
You probably have more viewers than you think. People just don't engage very much. Yeah, that's definitely true, but...
Dude, a trauma. Of course I'm a mod, yo. All right.
I'm posting
this... Oh, wait, where's the... Guys, go check out this Instagram where I post stupid shit, basically. Can you see that? Real gonads. I post a lot of, like really, really strange... really strange posts. It's kind of like I just like schizo post on there, and it's really fun for me. So I don't know, some of you guys might enjoy that. Yeah, I did give you membership at Troma, my boy.
161 votes is... I guess I'm gonna end it and restart.
Yeah.